Armed Forces Week, leading up to Armed Forces Day, is an excellent way for local communities to celebrate the work of those who currently serve and those who have served, along with recognising the very valuable support provided to those in need from the Armed Forces community by organisations like ours.
Armed Forces Day is important because it gives the nation a chance to show their support for the boys and girls, not just the ones that served in the Second World War, the Falkland and the like, the guys and girls that are in Afghanistan today, and whatever future operations are going to turn up. I think it's important for the guys and girls that are putting their life on the line know that they're being recognised.
As an Armed Forces veteran, I feel that the Armed Forces Day is very beneficial, not just to the veterans, but to the Armed Forces personnel who are still serving, wherever they be around the world, that it raises the general public's awareness of the commitment that the veterans and serving personnel are providing to the country. And it's an opportunity for us all to reflect on the people who have gone before us and the people that will follow us in our footsteps in the Armed Forces.
I think the system that we operate here with this organisation is an excellent one, and I'm not saying that just because I'm an employee. If I find myself needing rented accommodation, I wouldn't hesitate but to apply for housing here because of all the services, and it is a family community here. It's such a close community and people just know everybody in the village, and they're all like-minded because most of them are ex-service.
We have a close link with the local schools, which has been built up over the last year with the health and wellbeing side of RBLI, and the school children are actually amazed at what these lads do, and it also helps these ex-soldiers as well to be able to know that the kids are actually interested in what they're doing and what the forces are doing for the country.
They've got a huge amount of skills, but it's about somebody being able to understand them and then learn how to articulate that when they're in an interview situation. I think that's one of the key things for them, because otherwise, to put on your CV, I did 24 years as a soldier, doesn't mean anything to an employer. And an employer, if they can't understand it when they're first looking at a CV, will just put it to one side. So we need to make it as easily understandable as quickly as possible for a prospective employer so that person gets hooked in.
Working in the sector that I do now, I can see various organisations starting to become a lot more joined up in their support that they can offer to service leavers, and that can only be a good thing. I only wish it was around when I left the services about 5 years ago. It can only be a good thing that all those pools of expertise are joining together and making that expertise readily available to service leavers.
Every resident, I know it sounds kind of silly, but every resident in this building is happy to be here. They're not pressured to come. In fact, we have a very good system on who we let into Queen Elizabeth Court. So that link to the armed forces is the number one priority.
I think it's always good to bring the armed forces to the forefront of people's minds, both to the general public, but also to those that have previously served. They do a hard job. It's not the easiest of jobs in the world, and I think that we will do well to appreciate the fact that what people who actually are on operations are doing for the rest of us.
The work that the Royal British Legion Industries does for ex-servicemen and disabled people is, if it wasn't for those, I wouldn't be here today. That they've done, I'm just a tip of the iceberg kind of thing, really. I was there at the right time and they put my life back in order. They've really helped me out, and if it wasn't for the Royal British Legion Industries, we wouldn't be here today.